a consultant, I get into different processes with different levels of implementation and functionality of lean applications all the time. However, everywhere I look, they have different approach to the 5S and explain it in their own way. In this lesson, I'll walk you through 6 mistakes in understanding the 5S that often lead to this approach being ineffective or even hated and rejected. Who knows? Maybe your company suffers from one or more of these mistakes as well. Number 1, the 5S is about cleaning. Probably the most common answer when I ask clients how they perceive the 5S in their company is that it's about cleaning. While housekeeping and ensuring cleanliness is a necessary part of implementing and maintaining the 5S, it's not its only purpose. We bring the workplace to a clean and organized state to better and more quickly identify that something is wrong, like a fluid leak, dirt settling in sensitive areas in a machine, missing tools, or leftover materials from previous production, and so on. Anyway, the purpose of introducing the 5S is to make these abnormalities visible and resolve them, not to clean up endlessly. As you will discover in this course, in the 5S, we aim to not have to clean up at all. Number 2, the 5S is all about how the workplace looks. Sometimes companies try to wow their customers and clients by showing them beautiful workplaces. They then sell it to them as the established 5S and give the impression of a lean culture. Unfortunately, this then gives workers the impression that the 5S is just a superficial method of making workplaces pretty instead of maximally comfortable, functional, and productive. It really needs to be understood that the 5S is not only about how workplaces look, but mainly how they work. Number 3, we do the 5S for the sake of audits. Remember, auditing the 5S is not about looking good in audits or using audits to show how tough an auditor you can be once you get into the process. As you will learn later in this course, the 5S auditing serves to make sure that the newly set standards are working and being followed. Further, that the standards set are actually helping you. And last but not least, to lend a helping hand in resolving any abnormalities and non-standards discovered to ensure the continued development of the audited workplace. Number 4, the 5S is just about labeling and marking everything. Labeling and marking workplace elements is indeed an essential part of the 5S, but it is not about putting a label on everything that can be named. Yes, a label or a photo or any other way that promotes efficient and safe work has its place in the 5S, but it has to have logic behind it and a good knowledge of the process. On the other hand, frantic labeling can cause chaos and make the workplace more confusing to work in and navigate than if it were left unlabeled. Number 5, the 5S is only for manufacturing. Even though the 5S was developed in manufacturing companies, this does not mean that it only benefits manufacturing processes. On the contrary, the 5S can be used just as effectively in administrative, technical, service, laboratory, or any other environment. Anywhere where it matters to do the job comfortably, quickly, safely, with quality, and generally without errors and waste, that's where the 5S has a firm place. And number 6, the 5S is a workshop where our job is to redesign the workplace. A workshop, or 5S Kaizen or Kickoff as it is variously called, is just a part of implementing the 5S and serves to create an environment and culture that supports continuous improvement. From the management point of view, by redesigning the workplace through a workshop and going through the first 3 S's, sort, set in order, and shine, you are just creating a platform to set up the S's that matter most in your daily work. And these are the last 2 S's, standardize and sustain. Because the 5S is not just a workshop where we change where things are stored in the workplace, but it is all about creating a culture of continuous improvement. setting standards, following them every day, and cultivating everyone's attitude so that we can systematically remove the issues that hold us back from achieving and maintaining a high-performance work environment and keep evolving. The 5S workshop is just a start. It is basically a CPR that brings your management, workplace, and staff to a new way of life. In the next lesson, we'll go over how to implement the meaningful 5S correctly so that it really benefits your business and so you avoid unnecessary frustrations.